No Man's Sky was well known in the past for having a number of glitches within the game that you could mainly benefit from. So they get you things like unlimited money, unlimited nanites, free items, unlimited resources, and so on. Now, over the years, some of these glitches have supposedly been fixed by the team at Hello Games, and some apparently still work, even after all of these years. And I have covered almost all of the major glitches over the years by showing you guys how to do them. But as it's been a long time since I've done a video covering any sort of glitches whatsoever, there is a chance that they either may no longer work or may work but only in a different way. So in this video I'm going to go over the main glitches in the game to see if they do or do not work, and if they do work, you're in for a real treat. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get stuck in. Quick disclaimer folks, I'll be trying all of these glitches out on the PlayStation 5, and there's been no fiddling with save files, modding or anything else. I'm just using the latest update going into these. This video doesn't also include anything to do with glitch building techniques either. There will also be some footage from my older original videos demonstrating the glitches way back in the day. But for some reason, when I've downloaded them from YouTube Studio, the quality is a bit worse. So you'll just have to bear with that for a minute or two. So I'm going to start off with what could probably be known as the speed glitch. And the premise is pretty simple. It's a glitch that allows you to travel across the surface of a planet at a stupidly fast pace. It made the very well known and highly used melee boost jump look pretty damn pathetic, to be quite honest with you. I'm pretty sure when I did this the first time around, from an elevated position or an elevated standpoint, I was able to get up enough speed to jump something stupid like 1000 U in a single go. And if you're curious to see what that looked like back in the day, here is the footage from my initial video showing you exactly that. Pretty awesome, right? Now let's go and see if this actually still works. And obviously you'll need to know how to do this to see if it actually works. And the method is pretty damn simple. With your multi-tool, you want to equip a weapon, say a bolt caster or a pulse splitter or something like that. Now fire off a couple of shots, but do not reload. Then, when you run forward, hit your melee button and then immediately rapidly tap the reload button, and, at least back in the old days, you should have been slung forward at an incredible rate. However, for this one guys, I am very sorry to report that it appears it no longer works. I tried with multiple weapons and I just could not get it to work. I mean, god damn, this is one of my favourite glitches of them all. Now, there's no harm in you guys trying it, though, in case the method has changed somewhat. I mean, if you can replicate it, let me know in the comments. But for now, it looks like it has been patched, so we can't be jumping 1000 U at a time. Boo! Moving on to the next one, and this is the so-called scrap dealer glitch. And this involves you getting items from the scrap dealer on board the space station completely for free. Usually you'd have to gather a bunch of tainted metal from ransacking derelict freighters, and only then could you purchase items from the scrap dealer. Now, whether or not this works now that we have the brand new space stations in a bit of a rejig, who knows? So let's go ahead and find out. The original way to do this was to gather enough tainted metal from derelict freighters to be able to buy a bunch of the items from the scrap dealer. It's worth noting that this never worked for the top 4 items that the scrap dealer sold, only the other scrap items. Now, it turns out on my main save I already own everything to make this glitch actually work. So I went over to my backup save to give it a go. Tested the method, found out that it still worked, and guess what? My dumbass forgot to hit record, so I don't have the footage for it. And now in all of my saves, I own everything from the scrap dealer to actually make this glitch work. So you're going to have to settle for my original footage filmed years ago on the old school space stations. But I can confirm this still worked for me in October 2024. What you need to do is create a reload point by getting out of your ship in the space station, then go over to scrap dealer, buy a few things from them, not the top 4 but any of the others, and then reload that autosave. Then head back to the scrap dealer and the items should be listed as available where you can get them for free, but your tainted metal balance won't have decreased. Pretty neat, right? Next up is the Quicksilver Glitch, when you're buying items from the Quicksilver Synthesis Companion on board the Space Anomaly. Now, this one is pretty similar to the Scrap Dealer Glitch in terms of how you go about it, and as we've seen from the Scrap Dealer Glitch, well, it still works, so I'm thinking we might just get the same outcome here, but let's go ahead and double check it anyway. Now, luckily this time I actually recorded the footage of it working, and yes, the Quicksilver Glitch does still work. This footage was recorded after I had just completed the Cursed Expedition, so you know that it's well up to date. The method is the same as the Scrap Dealer one. You create yourself a reload point by getting out of your ship on the Anomaly, head on over to the Synthesis Companion and buy some items with Quicksilver, and then reload that autosave. I went for some ice sculptures this time around, and then once my reload had, well, reloaded, I went back over to find those items were available to me at no extra cost, and my Quicksilver balance hadn't gone down. Awesome. How about an unlimited nanite glitch? Now this one is probably less well known because I bet your first thought upon getting unlimited nanites, it probably involved a duplication glitch. And you wouldn't be wrong, you can definitely do that, but more on those in a few minutes. But this glitch doesn't involve duplicating anything whatsoever. Instead, it involved combat with sentinels and a resource depot, and if you followed the steps correctly, it would literally start raining nanites. Here's what it looked like all those years ago when I created a walkthrough video for this exact glitch. How this happened, I have absolutely no idea, but let's go and try and reproduce it. So the first step is actually finding a resource depot, and the easiest way to do that is to purchase secure site charts from a cartographer on board a space station. I'd recommend you buy a few of these just in case the initial location you find is a manufacturing facility or an operations centre, because we don't want one of those. Now once you have found yourself a resource depot, you want to dig yourself a tunnel to a nearby hill, so don't dig directly down into the ground. You don't want to make it too big, just big enough for the sentinel drones to fly in, but obviously not big enough for a sentinel walker. And once you've done that, start shooting the resource deposits and engaging those sentinels who are going to come and attack you. You don't need to go into the hole you created just yet, but you do want to get to the point where a sentinel walker has been called, and then once you hear that sentinel walker is on its way to come and try and wipe you out, then go into that tunnel that you created. You will then need to shoot the first sentinel drone from that tunnel, and back in the days of this glitch, this is when it started raining nanites. As you can see now, sadly this glitch has been patched and it no longer works, so unfortunately you're not going to see it raining nanites anytime soon. I always enjoyed this one, not necessarily because of the unlimited nanites you get from it, but more because it looked freaking awesome raining cylindrical barrels. Now I know I said raining nanites, technically that is incorrect. It rains these barrels where you get resources from like pugnium and other stuff, and you can obviously then get nanites from that, but raining nanites sounded better, so I went with that description. On to the pretty well known ship scrapping glitch. Now this basically involved you scrapping ships on the space station for a few million units worth of supplies each time, then grabbing another ship from one of the NPCs on board the space station which was cheaper than the initial ship, meaning it didn't cost you anything at all, to then trade it in if I remember correctly. Then once you'd scrapped it, you could reclaim the other ship, and if you rinse and repeated this method, you could rack up millions and millions of units in no time at all. Now, obviously ship scrapping and space stations have had a major overhaul in recent updates, because we now get the choice to scrap it for parts or scrap it for a component to build ourselves a new ship, assuming it wasn't an exotic or a sentinel ship or whatever. Now I tried this original method and it no longer works. I don't think I was doing anything wrong based off the old one. I don't know if this was patched when we got the orbital update or if it was patched before that, who knows. But folks, there is good news, because there is a new, or at least new to me anyway, I've not seen it before, ship scrapping glitch, which involves a different method and technically at least not scrapping your ship. And it's pretty simple to do. Less steps than the original one, so let's get to it. First up, you want to make sure you've got at least 2 ships to your name. More than 2 is better, but it should work with 2 regardless, as long as one of them, well, there's a chance you might scrap it, so let's get a ship that you're not too bothered about, just in case. Now, figure out which of those ships you want to scrap or get a customization part from or whatever, and then go ahead and do exactly that. Now is the part where you need to be pretty quick, because you can now swap ships in the space station, whereas you couldn't used to before. So you can select them from your quick menu. Now, once you've scrapped a ship, the ship selection from the quick menu will get smaller because you've scrapped that ship, obviously. But if you are quick enough, I think within about 4 seconds after scrapping said ship and the menu disappearing, you can switch back to the ship you just scrapped and it will still be in the quick menu option, so select that ship you just scrapped as quick as you can. If you do this quick enough, you should notice that the ship didn't actually get scrapped, but you still got either the customization part or the ship scrapped parts from said ship. So in theory, you could make as much money as you want selling those parts, or get as many customization parts for a new ship, assuming that ship is, well, one that you can build, of course. I know I mentioned you can get unlimited parts or unlimited money from doing the ship scrapping glitch, but you can also get unlimited nanites and upgrade any of your ship's inventory capacity, well, for free. This is because scrapping ships also gives you upgrade modules, which you can of course sell for nanites, and scrapping ships also gives you storage augmentation, meaning you can apply these to Starship that isn't fully upgraded already, and doing that without storage augmentations is damned expensive, so this method works an absolute treat and saves you millions upon millions of units. I couldn't do a whole video covering No Man's Sky glitches without going over some duplication glitches, right? Of course not, so let's get stuck into those. Now, duplication glitches are probably the most well-known glitches in No Man's Sky and have been for a number of years, and there are a variety of them. There is the most common personal refiner glitch, there was a jetpack refiner duplication glitch which involved other players on the anomaly. There was another one which involved a Colossus and passing resources to players whilst flying past them, going in and out the anomaly. And there was also a storage container glitch which involved sending ourselves to an early grave and again passing resources to players flying in and out of the anomaly. I covered all of these in multiple videos, 3-4 years ago, something like that. Now, some of these duplication glitches were a little bit of a ball ache and basically rendered pointless because the personal refiner one was super simple, so let's try and replicate that one. The premise is super simple. Place a personal refiner down onto a flat surface and lob some resources in it. Now, place a second personal refiner down, but make sure it is mostly inside of the first one. That part is absolutely essential for this to work. If you then check out the contents of the second refiner that you placed down, you can see it contains the same resources you placed in the first one. Now, you can safely stick that resource back into your inventory and pick up the second refiner. If you then go and check the contents of the first refiner once again to see that that still contains the resource you placed in there in the first place. You can repeat this process as many times as you want using whatever resource you want. Like, you can gain unlimited resources from it. You can also get unlimited money if you do this with, say, stasis devices and then sell them on. You can get unlimited nanites from doing this if you do this with runaway mold and then refine them into nanites. It really is the most all-rounded duplication glitch, and to top it off, it still works, even years after it was initially found. Well folks, it turns out that some of these glitches still work exactly the same way as they used to. And one, well, sort of works, but the method is now different, and a couple don't work anymore at all, which I did kind of expect to happen with at least 1 or 2 of these old school glitches. Now, sure, there will be some of you out there who don't condone the use of glitches at all for whatever reason. Now, you do you and let other players do whatever the hell they want to do. If they want to use these glitches, let them use them, and don't get angry at them. Now, if there are any other glitches that I haven't covered in this video but you think they are worthy of a mention, let us know in the comments section what that glitch is, how to do it, and most importantly, if it still actually works. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful. If you are still here, it would be totally awesome if you could support my channel by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. You can now become a channel member as well, and as always, thank you for watching this video and I hope to catch you in my next one.